debut film, right?
Yes, this is my first movie.
First movie, and you got it bang on. Where was the filmmaking craft learned? Where did you do that?
I'm a lawyer. I'm a
Yes.
lawyer who quit law to pursue a career in filmmaking. So I've grown up on movies from the 90s.
Okay.
Rajkumar Santoshi is one of my favorite
Wow.
filmmakers.
Yeah. Any legal law scene or court scene that stays with you, like say for a Mary Jung kind of a movie?
Rajkumar Santoshi is Damini.
Yeah, my
Damini
God.
and Pink as well. I've
Yes,
loved Shujit
yeah,
Sarkar's Pink
yeah.
a lot. I've loved Jolly LLB,
Mhm.
both installments of Jolly LLB. I actually look forward to Jolly LLB 3.
Hmm.
And then a lot of courtroom dramas from the West.
Right.
Sidney Lumet's The Verdict is one of my favorite films.
So tell us about shooting with Akshay also. He's of course such a seasoned actor.
I remember till the last minute he was reading the scene with me. He was discussing the scene with me. And when the camera used to roll, there was so much new things that he used to exhibit, that he used to bring out. That it was a dream for me to work with him.
Your script was ready. Reaching out to your how was the casting plan?
I'm just so lucky that that I got a massive superstar to do my first film.
Ananya and Maddie also.
Yes,
how did that work?
And I've really liked Ananya's work in Gehraiyaan.
Yeah.
I think Gehraiyaan was beautiful.
Yeah, and she was very good.
She was very good. So in conversations with Karan, we thought Ananya would be perfect for Dil Reet Dil.
Wow.
I've been a lifelong fan of Maddie sir.
Okay.
I've loved him in Halai Payuthe, in several other movies. In Guru, he was so good. And shooting with him was a breeze.
In the end, you kept Mahatma Gandhi's one speech.
Correct. That is from the book as well. That is from the book. So Mahatma Gandhi, so Shankaran Nair and Mahatma Gandhi had differences.
Yeah.
But after the case, Gandhi went on record to state that Shankaran Nair has not only put General Dyer or Michael O'Dwyer on trial, he's put the entire British Empire on trial. Hi, I'm Karan Singh Tyagi and you're watching this interview on Bollywood Hungama.
Karan, welcome to Bollywood Hungama. We are chatting after your film is released and got amazing positive feedback. It's doing well. So big congratulations.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
There's less known about you. So let's tell people something that they don't know today. Debut film, right?
Yes. This is my first movie.
First movie, and you got it bang on. Where was the filmmaking craft learned? Where did you do that?
So I'm a lawyer. I'm a lawyer who quit law to pursue a career in filmmaking.
Okay.
But I was bit by the bug of Bollywood from a very young age.
Okay.
So I've grown up on movies from the 90s.
Okay.
Rajkumar Santoshi is one of my favorite filmmakers.
Yeah.
And during my legal career, during my law stint at law firms, Bollywood never left me. So watching movies has been an enduring passion. And my film education, you can say, has come from watching movies.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you studied law and you practiced law as well?
Yes. So I studied law from Government Law College in Bombay.
Okay.
And then I went to do my master's at Harvard Law School. And then I worked in law firms in Paris and New York.
Okay.
And but as I was saying, even when I was in Paris, New York, there was not a single Bollywood movie that I missed.
Wow.
I remember walking in the snow in Boston to catch a show of My Name is Khan.
Wow.
And so there have been several such instances.
Amazing. But tell me, when you decided this switch, I want to learn filmmaking, what did family and friends say? What are you doing?
So my family actually was very supportive.
Okay.
My family was very supportive. They knew that I had to try this.
Okay.
I had to try this. A tough conversation was with my law firm partner in New York. So when I was leaving, I told him that I want to take a sabbatical for a year.
Okay.
And I want to try my hand out at filmmaking. I'm so glad that the sabbatical has become permanent.
Wow, amazing. And then how did Kesari 2 take shape? Would you tell us, when did you come on board? Where did the script come?
So in 2020 is when I came across the book Case That Shook the Empire.
Yes.
So a friend of mine, Atmika Didwania, suggested this book to me. I read the book and I was riveted. I was riveted by the story that the book was telling me. It was a powerful courtroom drama from the 1920s, which spoke to the present times, which spoke to the world that we are living in today.
Yeah.
And then I started writing the script along with Amrit, who is a co-writer on the film, also a producer on the film. And he's the founder of Leo Media Collective.
Yes.
And Leo Media Collective gave me the perfect platform to mount my first film at this size and scale.
Okay.
Through Amrit, we met Karan here at Dharma, who instantly loved the material, and he came on board, and then we just went from strength to strength.
Wow. And you knew Amrit from before? Or?
So I knew Amrit because I was working with Leo Media Collective.
Okay.
I've written Bandish Bandits season 2 with them. Leo Media had produced another show called Kalkoot. I was the showrunner on that web series as well.
Nice.
Yeah, so I knew Amrit from before.
And these got very good reviews, very good feedback. Bandish Bandits has its own following.
Yes. Yeah. It's a fabulous show, beautifully directed by Anand. And yes.
So then when you come to Dharma, when you meet Karan, what was his feedback? Because this is also, now Dharma makes a lot of different movies. Did you think this movie will fit in what kind of cinema they make?
That thought never crossed me because I feel Dharma has been making different kinds of movies. They made a movie Razi, which is again an unsung story of valor and told so beautifully. So the thought whether Dharma will make this movie or won't make this movie never crossed me. And in my first meeting with Somain and Karan, they loved the material. They loved the screenplay. They loved the fact that we were honoring one of India's forgotten heroes, and they liked the drama that was inherent in the story.
Right. And then how does it take shape? Like your script was ready, reaching out to your how was the casting plan?
So the casting plan was Karan sent the script to Akshay sir and his team. Akshay sir read it. He instantly liked it. And then he called me in for a narration. And then we had detailed script reading sessions with him where he took his time in understanding each and every scene, each and every beat of the screenplay, and eventually kind of came on board as a beautiful collaborator. So I can sort of say that we have spent several months writing the script along with Akshay sir as well.
Wow.
So that was the passion that he brought on to this project.
When you were reading the book and when you were working on the script, that time did you have any actors in mind? Did you think of Akshay?
It was my first film. I was just writing my first script without these thoughts of actors, producers. I'm just so lucky that that I got a massive superstar to do my first film.
Right. And then Ananya and Maddie also. How did that work?
So with Ananya, so when we wrote this character of Dilpreet Gill, we wanted a young actor to come on board who had a mix of vulnerability and strength. Because if you see, Dilpreet Gill has both those qualities in abundant measure. And I've really liked Ananya's work in Gehraiyan. I think Gehraiyan was beautiful.
And she was very good.
She was very good. So in my conversations with Karan, we thought Ananya would be perfect for Dilpreet Gill.
Wow.
And then the amount of hard work that she has put in getting Dilpreet Gill right was exemplary. She went through dialect lessons for over a year. Then Ananya and I met some lawyers in Bombay. We went to the Bombay High Court to observe how lawyers argue, to observe the court mannerisms. And I think her performance is now for the world to see.
She's absolutely amazing. And even Madhavan, the minute he comes, that scene, I remember that oh God, now what is going to happen, because even they have a powerful lawyer. That impact he has. What is he like on the sets?
I've been a lifelong fan of Maddie sir.
I've
loved him in Alai Payuthe, in several other movies, in Guru. He was so good. I remember meeting him. And he was an actor who actually came on board with just one meeting. I remember narrating the role of Neville McKinley to him, and it was just, we hit the ground running from day one. And in fact, he brought an important nuance to that role, which added so much to Neville McKinley. He told me that Neville McKinley is not defending the crown. He's out there to defeat Shankar Nair. So he's not subservient to General Dyer. He's not subservient to the crown. He's out there to defeat Shankar Nair, because so it's a personal battle for him. It's a personal mission for him. And when battles are personal, you leave no stone unturned in winning. And shooting with him was a breeze. I remember my DOP and I, we went through extensive shot breakdown in how we wanted to shoot a particular scene, but with Maddie sir, all our planning went out of the window, because he was walking on that set. He was going from the jury box to the judge, everyone, and we just followed him.
Wow.
We just followed him because he brought in so much force to the character, and I'm so lucky he did this part, because every great protagonist requires a strong antagonist.
Wow.
And Neville McKinley was that for Shankar Nayak.
Yeah, true. Tell us about shooting with Akshay also. He's of course such a seasoned actor. But we have liked him in so much. Sometimes comedy and action. It's a very there's a different role.
It's a different role, and there's a lot of improvisation that he does on set.
Okay.
He is there's a lot of things that he brings to the set till the last minute. I remember till the last minute he was reading the scene with me, he was discussing the scene with me, and when the camera used to roll, there was so much new things that he used to exhibit, that he used to bring out, that it was a dream for me to work with him. I remember for the last scene, the last monologue, we rehearsed that scene for 4 hours.
Okay.
We didn't roll the camera. We all came on set. The juniors were in place. And Akshay sir kept on rehearsing the scene for 4 hours.
Wow.
After 4 hours, we took our first shot. And yeah, he's beautiful. He's beautiful in that scene, and that scene just is legendary.
Right. How supportive was the family, Shankar Nayar's family? They have written the book, of course, but when the idea reaches them, were there any apprehensions, anything?
Extremely supportive.
Okay.
Extremely supportive. Through the scripting process, we had detailed discussions with Mr. Raghu Palat and Pushpa Palat, and they were on board with the script. They visited us on set several times.
Okay.
They were the first people we showed the rough cut of the film to.
Yeah, I saw the visual of that.
And yeah, they've been extremely supportive in this journey.
Right. What have you kept from the book, retained it, and what have you what would you tell us that is not there?
So in reality, what happened was that Shankar Nayar wrote a book called Gandhi and Anarchy.
Yeah.
And he got sued for defamation for writing that book. And now the fact that I'm a lawyer, it helps me that to counter a defamation suit, you need to prove the truth of what happened at Jallianwala Bagh. So we've kept the soul, the essence from the book, because the court case was about what really happened at Jallianwala Bagh. So that every factual information about Jallianwala Bagh is something that we've got from the book. The book presents a new argument that the Jallianwala Bagh massacre was a planned conspiracy to kill, and that's the argument that the movie puts out as well. So every factual information about Shankar Nayar's legal battle, every factual information about how the conspiracy was planned to the T is everything we got from the book.
Wow, that's so interesting. And interesting, you kept in the end you kept Mahatma Gandhi's one speech.
Correct. That is from the book as well. That is from the book. So Mahatma Gandhi, so Shankar Nayar and Mahatma Gandhi had differences.
Yeah.
But after the case, Gandhi went on record to state that Shankar Nayar has not only put General Dyer or Michael O'Dwyer on trial, he's put the entire British Empire on trial, and they've been found wanting. So Gandhi said that the British Empire has lost its entire moral legitimacy to rule us after the Jallianwala Bagh massacre.
Wow. Are you someone who will go deep into it and read? Because again, I also went back after the film and I read so much about it. Are you would you be interested in reading what different ideologies they had? Do you do that?
Yeah. So I in fact, during the crafting of the screenplay, I almost read every possible book on Jallianwala Bagh.
Okay.
So we obviously had Case That Shook the Empire, which became a Bible when we were crafting the screenplay.
Right.
But there is so much other literature on Jallianwala Bagh. There is a beautiful book by Kim Wagner on the Jallianwala Bagh massacre. There is an Indian author, V.N. Datta, who's written an amazing book, who also puts forth the same argument that a movie puts forth, that the massacre was a planned conspiracy. Then I read the testimonies of survivors, because the survivors' testimony, they have described what really went down on 13th April.
Yeah.
So I read that book as well. So and Shankar Nayar's book, Gandhi and Anarchy. So just did extensive research because I was very sure that here we were honoring the sacrifice of people who died at Jallianwala Bagh. They came to the Bagh to celebrate Baisakhi, and they left as martyrs. So we were honoring their sacrifice, and we were honoring the sacrifice of one of India's forgotten heroes, Shankar Nayar. So we had to be authentic, we had to be sensitive to the material.
Right. Tell me about shooting the Jallianwala Bagh scene. Shot the way I've not seen it anywhere in other movies that I've seen. You've shown angles and, which we've not seen before. Tell me about shooting that. That was emotional also, right?
That was emotional. That was gut-wrenching for us. But we made a decision very early on that we wanted to showcase the massacre from the 13-year-old Sardar boy's point of view. So we wanted to show the massacre from that boy's point of view. That is what I believe has made the massacre sequence more visceral, more palpable, more gut-wrenching. Because we were not interested in highlighting or showcasing the scale of the massacre.
Okay.
We wanted to put the audiences inside the Bagh. And we tried to do that by showing what a family went through when bullets were fired on people. So that was a call that we made early on, and I feel that is why you're finding the massacre sequence different from other movies. And then when the massacre comes for the second time, we wanted to intercut Shankaran Nair receiving knighthood, which for him is the grandest moment in his life, whereas a boy's life is being blown apart.
Right.
And then we knew that these two forces are going to collide in the movie. So those were two creative choices that were made in depicting the massacre.
Right.
And I feel they've done the job.
Yeah, they have done the job. Did you have British actors? What do they talk about? Like, did you have anyone from, when you talk to them generally, what do they say about?
So, General Dyer, the actor who played General Dyer, his name is Simon Paisley Day. And he's a fantastic actor. We actually cast him from London. He's a theatre actor from London, and he was just shocked. He was just shocked when we were reading the script to him, because in my interactions with him, I found out that the people in England are unaware.
He didn't know.
Are unaware of what the British Empire really did. So they have been told a story that the empire was on a civilizational drive in Asia, where they were building trains, where they were building infrastructure, but they had no idea about the other side, that such a grave evil was perpetrated by them.
Also you've taken another, by making this, you take a huge responsibility. You're showing it to a new generation.
Correct.
There are people who don't know. There are a lot of people who didn't know about Shankaran Nair, and everybody is Googling after the film. In the end, you also put a plate where you emphasize very clearly that, till now, nobody has said sorry about it. What were these conversations like within you guys?
So we wanted the film to be relevant in today's times.
Yeah.
We wanted the film to speak to today's generation. Today's India is a very different India from 1919. Today's India is a modern India. Today's India is a new India. Today's India is an aggressive India, which does not hesitate in looking our oppressor in the eye and demanding accountability. So the last plate of sorry actually comes from that force of today's India, where we wanted to tell the world that until today, even till today, 106 years after the massacre, no official regret has been communicated to the Indian government, and we wanted that message to be loud and clear. Because Rohit, when the massacre happened, you can say massacre was General Dyer's doing, but what did the British government do at that point of time? They put their entire might in protecting General Dyer. They perpetrated a fake narrative that innocent people were armed. This is misdemeanor at a government level. This is misdemeanor at the highest level. Which is why we wanted the message to be loud and clear that we want accountability. We want accountability.
This is what you all were thinking, and on the other side, this video came up of General Dyer's great-granddaughter, speaking something completely different. And
till today, she believes the same narrative which the empire spun back then, that people at the Bagh who came to the Bagh were looters. So this is the narrative that we want to demolish. This is the narrative that we want to set right. Which is why we made the film, which is why the movie ends with that particular slide.
Whose validation and reactions you really wanted from this because it's such a big job that you're doing?
The audience's validation. Audience's validation and the love that the movie has been receiving is heartwarming. I am so glad that everyone has really liked the film. So just wanted people to come to the theaters, watch the movie, understand this chapter from Indian history, and it's their love and validation.
Yeah, true. Did you go to Jallianwala Bagh? When did you go, and what was that like?
So I've been going to Jallianwala Bagh since I was a kid.
Okay.
I've been to Jallianwala Bagh several times.
Okay.
But when we started work on this film, my cinematographer and I, we took a trip to Amritsar, which kind of was an eye opener for us. We went to Jallianwala Bagh. We just sat there for minutes and just soaked in the atmosphere. Just spoke about the task that we were setting out to achieve.
Yeah.
And that trip to Amritsar kind of for us was the beginning of understanding the visual palette of our film.
True. Any scene, shooting any scene that stays with you, any scene that you recall that this keeps coming back to your mind because it is impactful. You've lived this.
So the scene that I really actually which stays back with me is the scene when Shankaran Nair reads the letter which is written by Kripal Singh. And he's just reading the letter and he understands how Pargat was killed. And I still get goosebumps when I think back to that scene because I feel Akshay sir has delivered a beautiful performance. And I have to tell you one thing, that he just kept on crying. He just kept on weeping. And everyone was stunned. Everyone was stunned because that scene moved him. The emotion of the film moved him. And I keep thinking back of that scene.
Yeah. Are you an emotional person as well? Did you break into tears at any scene?
Not while we were filming. Not while we were filming, but I saw my wife and my mother cry at the premiere.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And their emotions moved me.
Right.
Their emotions moved.
Right. And when Mr. Nair's family saw, what did they tell you?
They were just so happy and glad that their great grandfather, his story is now out for the world. His story is now out in the open.
Right.
And that the world knows of his valor and his bravery. They were just thrilled. They were just thrilled that people will now know about the legendary court case that he fought.
Wow. Did your legal background help you in what way? Like from the writing, from the shooting, just understanding the logics of all this? Where did it help?
I think at a lot of places. My legal background helped in crafting the screenplay.
Okay.
Because the screenplay is filled with courtroom scenes. It helped in shooting those courtroom scenes as well. It sort of helped me understand how lawyers talk in a courtroom. There are how does a jury deliberate? How does a judge adjudicate? What are the kind of objections that the opposing lawyer puts forth? So my legal education kind of helped me in that. And one more thing that I would like to say is that what a legal education gives you is a very structured way of approaching any particular problem. It gives you the ability to argue. And Rohit, as you would know, filmmaking is about getting your vision across. It's about communicating your vision. And I feel that's where my legal education also helped me.
Wow. Also courtroom scenes can be, in the past we have seen, can be very boring. Your scenes were very dramatic and there's something happening at all times.
Correct.
Was the material just that? Or your actors, of course, added?
The material was ripe with drama. My actors infused a lot of their own personality in those scenes as well. And Rohit, I've also been a big fan of the movies from the 90s. I've grown up on those movies. I've grown up on Rajkumar Santoshi's large scale dramas. I've loved that cinema. And I wanted the story to reach the widest possible audience. I wanted the story to be loved by the entire country. And which is why those scenes have that inherent tension, inherent drama.
Since you watch so much, any legal law scene or court scene that stays with you, is like, say, for a Meri Jung kind of a movie?
Rajkumar Santoshi's Damini.
Damini
God. And Sunny Deol in the second half of Damini is just so powerful. It just has so much force. So I love Damini. I in fact remember the dialogues verbatim. And then I've loved Pink as well. I've loved Shujit Sarkar's Pink a lot. I've loved Jolly LLB, both installments of Jolly LLB. I actually look forward to Jolly LLB 3. And then a lot of courtroom dramas from the West. Sidney Lumet's The Verdict is one of my favorite films. If you see Neville McKinley's character of a washed out alcoholic, is kind of semi-inspired from Paul Newman's character
Yes.
from The Verdict.
Right.
So I've loved that. A Few Good Men is
Few Good Men.
an all-time favorite.
Right.
So as you may see, I've grown up
Yeah.
loving courtroom dramas.
Right. Lastly, one part, Karan, is the filmmaking part and writing, and which you obviously got it right. Then comes the business part of it, releasing. Were these pressures ever? Because you want people to watch it. A recent big film just didn't do well. There's literally box office is another ball game. Did these things play on your mind before the release?
So they definitely didn't play on my mind, because I was very sure of the material that we had with us. We had extensive screenings that we did even before the release, and our movie was getting a lot of love. So I actually was very confident that the movie will receive a lot of love from the audience. And then I have a fabulous producer in Amrit and Karan Sir here, that they kept those pressures, box office pressures, away from me. And until the last minute, I was focusing on perfecting, on finishing the material, the movie.
Wow. And eventually when it dropped on Friday, when it released on Friday, where did the first reactions come from? Where you get to know, oh, I got it right?
So people were sending me videos from theaters.
Nice.
My assistants were sending me videos from our multiplexes in Bombay. I got reaction videos from Hyderabad, and I just saw people clapping, hooting, shouting slogans when Akshay Sir enters the courtroom, and even during the last monologue. And I felt that the movie was connected. And then I got a lot of love from the industry as well. I got a lot of phone calls, a lot of messages. It's all been just very heartwarming. Very heartwarming.
Amazing. Very well deserved. What's the plan now? Now, are you someone who will take a break and go on a holiday? Are you someone who will jump into your next one?
We'll take a small break, but then I want to jump into my next film. And again, want to keep entertaining the audiences. Want my next film to be bigger, better, more dramatic.
Is there a genre that you would like to try?
So I love drama. I love drama. So I really want to try an action drama for my next film. But it's too early to talk about it.
Sure, of course, right. But this is how the industry is. The minute you get it right, people want to know, will there be a Kesari 3? Will you work with Akshay? These kind of questions. So of course, you just said there'll be a drama, and that's what you're in.
Action drama. Given the chance, would really like to work with Akshay Sir again.
Right.
Because I've enjoyed this process a lot.
Yes, right.
But let's see what the future has in store.
Great, well done, and you made an excellent film, which all of us have enjoyed.
Thank you.
And can't wait.
Thank you.
All eyes on your career.
Thank you, Rohit. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Karan Singh Tyagi, and you're watching this interview on Bollywood Hungama.